Right now, major wildfires are burning out west. How the Texas A&M Forest Service is lending a helping hand. And COVID cases are rising. How schools are planning to handle the return of students. Good morning to you. I'm Joey Horta. A 90-day national public health emergency is set to expire today. But as the number of COVID-19 cases rise, it's being extended. The age group with the lowest vaccination rate includes kids from 12 to 15, according to the CDC. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends all students over 2 years old and all school staff to wear a face mask at school.
They depend on us being vaccinated to protect them from the spread of the virus. We are their shields.
Doctors say, vaccinated or not, if you live in an area with high transmission rates, it's the best thing to do is to wear a mask. According to the Mayo Clinic, 11% of Texans from the age of 12 to 17 have received at least one dose of the vaccine. Right now, weather conditions are hot and dry on the West Coast, increasing the risk of wildfires. The Texas A&M Forest Service has deployed 70 personnel to help battle the fires.
It is the maximum level, and this is pretty early for us to reach it this time of year. Usually it's not until late August that we start to see PO5 initiated. It's an indicator that resources are scarce, and so they're really needing firefighting resources. So we've taken the opportunity to really push out a large number, more than we ever have.
Right now, A&M has crews in Arizona, Idaho, and California as well. The Bryan Fire Department wants to hear from you when it comes to times and how the departments connect to the community. A meeting is being held on Thursday at the Neal Recreation Center gym. It starts at 6 p.m. if you want to head out there. And time now for a check on our forecast. Here's meteorologist Josh Johns.
Yeah, and we're watching for the chances of a few showers and thunderstorms in our area later on this afternoon. But right now, things are dry as you look at the Extraco Eagle Eye here in Bryan College Station towards Texas A&M. You can see those partly cloudy skies in the distance. 79 degrees right now, dew points at 71, so it feels like 82, and that feel-like temperature could be creeping up towards those triple digits later on today. 79 in Bryan and in College Station. 82 right now is what it feels like. 78 in Caldwell, Centerville, Franklin at 79. Cameron's already at 80 and feeling like 84, and 80 and feeling like 87 currently in Navasota. Not much showing up on satellite and radar. We are watching the potential, though, for a few pop-up showers within these little clouds that are trying to move in. Right now, though, things are dry. They should stay dry through your lunchtime hour. It's this afternoon we'll be watching for that chance for showers and thunderstorms. And again, they're going to be very sparse in nature. We're talking about a 20 to 30% chance as we go through the day. Again, some of those could have some brief heavy rainfall, some gusty winds. The severe threat, though, is low. That is the good news. We continue into the afternoon tomorrow, and we'll once again watch for that chance. Again, about a 20 to 30% chance. And then we get into Thursday, and Thursday we'll watch for it once again as well. It's once we head into the weekend that things really start to dry out and high pressure takes over. That's going to really dry us out, kind of erase those rain chances. And that means temperatures are going to be soaring. Today they aren't, though. Upper 80s, lower 90s, should originally be around 96 this time of year. And then tonight dipping down into the upper 60s and lower 70s. 10-day forecast, though, paints a pretty hot picture. 90 degrees today, tomorrow, 92 on Thursday with a 30% chance of rain. We drop the rain chances heading into the weekend, 96 Saturday and Sunday. But look what's awaiting us next week as those temperatures near 97, maybe even 98 in the future.
And touchdown. Welcome back, New Shepard's first human crew.
The crew capsule carrying Jeff Bezos returned to Earth successfully. The Amazon founder flew into space on the rocket ship made by his space company, Blue Origin. The 11-minute flight went more than 60 miles above Earth. Passengers aboard included Bezos' younger brother, an 18-year-old from the Netherlands, and an 82-year-old aviation pioneer from Texas. Earlier this month, Richard Branson became the first person to ride into space aboard a rocket he helped fund. The United States remains under a state of public health emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra renewed the health emergency declaration for another 90 days. It was last renewed in April and was set to expire. A public health emergency declaration allows for the emergency use authorization of vaccines and the access of certain funds to address the emergency, among other factors. The number of COVID-19 cases fueled by the Delta variant have continued to rise across the country. Pfizer is recalling some of its anti-smoking drugs. High levels of possible cancer-causing chemicals were found in Chantix batches. The company says there is no immediate danger to anyone taking it now. It's only a problem if someone's exposed to it over a long period of time. Pfizer says the health benefits of stopping smoking outweighs the potential cancer risk. The FDA recommends patients keep taking Chantix until their pharmacist provides a replacement or their doctor prescribes something else.
A European Union digital vaccine passport designed to make crossing European borders simple again. Anyone holding a certificate is exempted from testing or quarantine when entering a new country. A triumph for the travel sector.
I think anything that enables easy movement of people for us as a business is a great thing, because that's what we want. We want people to be out there exploring the world. I'm afraid this pandemic is going to be going on for a lot longer than we'd all thought, and travel for us is a massive priority. It's the essence of life in many ways, so we want people to travel as much as they can.
But not everyone supports the idea.
London's main transport hubs will require people to carry not just their passports, but also to download a virtual vaccine passport. Not just the EU 27 countries, but a system mirrored here in the United Kingdom. There are those who believe it fundamentally undermines their civil liberties.
I think it's an appalling infringement personally, but if this is what I have to do my work, to be able to travel, then that's what I've got to do. I think it's very wrong, but am I doing it? Absolutely, I'm doing it. It's a game we're all going to have to play if we want to travel.
In practice, COVID passports aren't as straightforward as they sound. Complications are already beginning to arise. British travellers who've been given an Indian-made dose of the Oxford-AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine are barred from entering some EU countries, as so far it's not been approved by the European Medicines Agency. Anya Sand is an artist who plans to take a holiday in Italy next week with her son and husband. One of her injections was an Indian-made version of the vaccine, leading her to believe she could be blocked at the border.
When I discovered this news, I was devastated. We cancelled our trip, we rebooked it, we moved it, because I didn't know which countries accept single jab or double jab. So the whole thing is a big confusion.
Angelica Marlin is the editor and founder of a well-known UK travel magazine. She believes that while there will be teething problems, vaccine passports across the globe are the lesser of two evils.
For me, it's about being able to live my life to the fullest, and if that means having to share whether or not I've had the vaccine and prove that I have, that's something I'm personally okay with. I know other people feel more strongly that it feels like it's impinging on their civil liberties to be kind of watched in that way, but for me the liberty of travel is more important, I suppose.
As people around the world get the itch to travel, a certificate to prove double vaccination might be the method of choice for countries eager to entice tourists back. I'm Luke Hanrahan in London.
With masks no longer required for vaccinated people, a new challenge is emerging. Other sickness is back.
I did not have any illness for about 15 months, not a sniffle.
Kaiser Permanente Dr. Heidi Meyer says masks don't just protect against coronavirus, but also the common cold, flu, and more.
This last season, we didn't see so much of it because everybody was wearing their mask.
TrueCare's Dr. Oscar Cook says the issue now is similarities in symptoms.
And it's difficult because common cold can seem like COVID at the very beginning.
With masks coming off, Dr. Meyer says they're seeing more colds now and are expecting more flu cases in the fall, meaning more confused patients.
There are many overlapping symptoms between the common cold and COVID, and that's going to make it difficult for patients to know when to isolate, when to get tested, and when to talk to their doctor.
She says there are a few key differences between a cold and COVID. Sneezing, a runny nose, and congestion are common with a cold and flu, but not with coronavirus. A fever, loss of taste, and loss of smell are common in coronavirus, but not a cold. The problem, if you feel sick, it will take a few days before you can confidently test for coronavirus.
If you wake up feeling sick and you run and get a COVID test and it's negative, it may be a false negative because you tested too early.
So both doctors recommend that no matter what, as soon as you feel sick, isolate.
Gone are the days where you come to work sick.
Then in a few days, it will be easier to figure out exactly what is wrong.
People of color make up less than a quarter of the tech industry. One company that trains the future of tech is trying to improve those numbers.
Always been pretty abysmal is the word I use.
David Ferreira says tech's diversity issues are in more than the numbers. They're in the experience.
I went off to college and I was the only Black person in my program there for 4 years, being the only representation of my race, my skin tone.
When he reached the professional world, things got a little better. He was no longer the only Black person he worked with. But Black people and other people of color were still wildly underrepresented. People of color represent 40% of the US population, but make up just 22% of the tech world. Tech Elevator, a coding boot camp company where David is an instructor, is trying to improve those numbers.
But here at Tech Elevator, because we have that scholarship that I talked about, we can actually just make it seem that the workforce and our classrooms match what society looks like.
Tech Elevators Represent Tech Scholarship is available to anyone who is a member of an underrepresented group. So far, it's paid for at least part of 135 students' tuition through the program. Those recipients have gone on to make a combined $337 million, according to the company. Jasmine Brown had been looking for a change after spending 7 years as a speech therapist.
Well, with speech pathology, there really isn't too much you can do other than being a speech therapist. So, it wasn't horrible, but I just didn't feel fulfilled and the passion wasn't there.
85% of her tuition is taken care of by the scholarship.
That was the only way I was going to be able to come, was with the scholarship. Pretty good.
She loves the program, but growing up, she never saw this as a career option.
I feel like when I was younger, it was just something I really didn't even think about, just probably because I didn't see that represented. I have a lot of family that's in education, social work, things like that, and so it just seemed natural to go that way.
The hope is this scholarship will help build the pool of qualified coders, so diversity in tech can grow.
I hope so, for my niece and my nephew. That would be really rewarding.
In Cleveland, I'm Bo Evans reporting.
What makes someone want to litter in their own community? One U.S. city is working with behavior scientists to try to figure that out. The Sustainability Office in Indianapolis is working alongside Keep Indianapolis Beautiful to pinpoint problem areas where people choose to litter. They'll track whether signs and messages curb people's behavior at locations like bus stops.
We're actually collecting data around litter in those places before that sign or that piece of information is put in place, and then afterwards as well. We're hoping to find out what messages really resonate with people when it comes to that key decision point of either littering or not littering.
According to the site trashhero.org, litter is bad for animals and people. It spoils our environment and it can have an impact on tourism. The study in Indianapolis will continue into 2022. Perhaps by then, the city will have some insight as to how to tackle the litter problem in other U.S. cities.
Going to be kind of a steamy day out there today. Temperatures in the upper 80s, lower 90s. Again, a small chance of a few showers, but most of you end up dry. Temperatures dip down to the 60s and lower 70s tonight under partly cloudy skies. And as you look at that 10-day forecast, we'll hang around in the low 90s with these isolated to scattered rain chances through around Thursday and Friday. For the weekend, though, that's when things really start to heat up, mid-90s. And later on next week, we're talking about temperatures near 97 to 98.
At first sight, they might seem to you nothing but normal French fries. In fact, they're beyond ordinary. These are the world's most expensive French fries, known as crème de la crème pommes frites.
The fries speak for themselves with taste. They taste amazing.
You can find them at the one and only Serendipity 3. The world-renowned Manhattan restaurant just reopened. And with the fries, it breaks its 10th Guinness World Record. The fries were old chef Joel Calderon's idea. The chef has been at Serendipity 3 for all 10 Guinness World Records, including the first one in 1998, the world's largest wedding cake.
So chef, tell me, why are these fries so expensive, so fancy? What's so special about them?
Well, it's the process. We take chipperbeck potatoes, we blanch them in Dom Perignon and French champagne vinegar.
In total, the fries are cooked 3 times.
You refrigerate, then fry in pure goose fat, freeze, then fry again in pure goose fat. And then, of course, it's topped with truffle oil, truffle salt, shaved black summer truffles.
The dish is served up on a Becquerel crystal arabesque plate with a matching bowl to carry the Mornay sauce for dipping the golden fries into.
It's finished off with a beautiful orchid and a sprinkle of 23-karat edible gold.
Of course, I couldn't leave Serendipity without having a taste of the crème de la crème pommes frites.
Let me try that. Let's see.
Get a little bit of that champagne flavor, and then the truffle hits.
My smell says it all. Amazing. Are you sure you're not hiding any secret ingredient from me?
No secret ingredients. It's just pure bliss.
Axel Trusius, New York City.
The past year took the lunch rush at this Pay What You Can cafe in Denver to a new level. The same cafe, which stands for So All May Eat, experienced its busiest year yet in 2020 as the pandemic caused financial hardships for families.
What we're seeing is a lot of folks that are experiencing homelessness for the first time, experiencing poverty for the first time, or experiencing food insecurity for the first time ever. And so they're navigating a system that they're unfamiliar with.
The cafe operates on a pay-what-you-can model, but customers can also volunteer in exchange for a meal.
They're not asking for much, they're just asking for water, food, the basic necessities that everyday people take for advantage.
2 men in Phoenix are helping people in need stay hydrated during the summer heat. These men, along with volunteers, find underserved parts of the valley and hand out bottles of water by the thousands. They say they believe this is their calling.
Everything I've done in life has always been that of helping the human being.
You're never too old to start eating healthy.
An online cooking show featured in Tampa helps seniors eat healthier by learning to cook their own meals. Eat Well, Age Well is specifically aimed to help seniors living alone who may have fallen into some unhealthy habits.
As we get older, sometimes we tend to eat a little more fast food or processed food.
The goal is to make low-cost meals with 5 or less ingredients.
When his presentation is over, oh, we want more, and we really love him. We love what he does for us.